Hello everybody, Timothy Bailey with Project Learn and our video for today. Today we're going to start something that I want to do regularly on Fridays. We'll call it Friday Funnies. So continuing to look at some humor, in particular language humor, so puns, right, are a good example. So the question is, are you ready to laugh? Let's go ahead and start. So here's the first one. You can see the cat there. Did you hear about the fire at the circus? It was intense. Now, if you remember from a previous video, language humor of this kind usually has two separate things going on. Either two events, two meanings of a word, two pronunciations of a word. There are somehow two things that are being opposed, right? And that's where the humor is. A good way to think about that is to look at the important words in a sentence. Particularly, for those of you learning English, if there's a word you do not know, those might be the places to look. So we're going to look here in the question, we're probably going to look at the word fire or circus. In the answer down here, we're sort of going to look at the word tense. These other words, right, prepositions and be verbs, tend to not be important for the humor. So, circus. This is a circus, or one of a kind of circus anyways. And what do they have here? Well, they have tents. A similar thing, only larger to what we use when we go camping. Okay? So, that's the connection for these two words. Now, a fire is intense, right? It's crazy. It's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of emotion, a lot of activity, right? Not boring or calm, right? Intense. Now, for this humor, right, unlike what I said at the beginning, we are going to draw in the word in. Because look at this and listen to this. Intense. Intense. Now, when we're pronouncing it, perhaps you have a little more of a T, but not necessarily, right? Intense, intense, right? It's a very hard T that you hear here, right? So the humor is between a circus, which is in preposition, tense, the noun, and a fire, which is intense, the adjective. Let's try another one. This farmer isn't just good at his job, he's outstanding in his field. Keywords, probably farmer, maybe this idea, good at his job, standing, field. Those might be the places we look. So what do we call someone when they're not just good at their job, they're great at their job? What would we say? We could say they are exceptional, extraordinary. And there's another synonym. So once we start thinking of this idea, a person who's good at their job, right? And you have to sort of ignore the picture right now for this part. Someone who's good at their job is exceptional, extraordinary. They're also outstanding. Adjectives. Now look at the second part, okay? Often for these ones that deal with language and have a picture, the picture only goes with part of the language. For this one, the picture goes with the second part. He, the farmer's, outstanding in his field, right? Preposition, right? Here, and the verb, right? Standing. Well, here he is. He's standing in the field, right? So he's this because he does a good job, or a great job anyways. And he's also doing this right now, standing in the field. So again, a play on two ideas of outstanding. This one and this one. Right? Let's try another one. Right? He's in his field. Okay. When chickens communicate, do they use foul language? Again, you know this word, you probably know this word, you know these words here, you know language. This one, most of you probably know, communicate, to talk to someone, to share information. So this one's pretty easy. The word probably is going to be this one. if you do not know what this word means. Now, again, looking at our picture, we see two chickens, right? Here, chickens. So you might guess, to begin with, that this word has something to do perhaps with chickens. And if we look at the definition here, for fowl, a bird such as a chicken that is raised for food, right? So it could be other birds as well, but for our picture, it is a chicken. Now we're looking at a single word here, possibly. So you might guess then that there's another word that sounds like fowl, this word, the chicken, right? Because remember, I told you a lot of times it's two things: the pronunciation of a word, or a word that sounds the same but has two spellings and two meanings. That's what we have here. The other fowl here, four very similar ideas. Something very bad or unpleasant or horrible, right? Unpleasant, taste or smell. Morally bad or evil. Bad, unpleasant. Indecent or offensive. So all of these are very, very negative, bad, horrible things. So this is the adjective, though, for language. So we have to use the language also. So do you know what foul language would be? Think of this. Language doesn't taste or smell, so it's not going to be this one. Could be this, could be this, could be this. In fact, if you look down here, she has a foul mouth. She uses foul language. Foul language, sometimes what people learn when they learn a new language first are the bad words, the words you're not supposed to say. The words sometimes young people want to learn first, right? So the humor here, when chickens communicate, do they use foul language? Is basically asking, do they use chicken language, like buck, 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 or do they use foul language, like bad words language? So it's playing on the idea. Not a real question, right? Just pointing at the humor, that we have two words that sound the same. This brings us to another key point, typically for this sort of humor, is it tends to be more about the sound than the spelling or the words that you see, right? So when you see this, you also need to remember you're hearing both of these because they sound the same. Try another one. I hope this dude is going straight home. So what does straight home mean? You might tell your son or your daughter or someone when they're done at the park playing with their friends, they should come straight home. What does that mean? You know the word straight, but here the idea of straight home is a co-location. Two words that often go together to have a special meaning. Well, the special meaning for your child or somebody is to go home without stopping anywhere else or doing anything else. So when your son or daughter is done in the park playing soccer with their friends, you tell them to come straight home. You mean go from the park to the house, to the home. Not go to your friend's house or go to the store or go somewhere else. Okay? So that's the meaning of this co-location, straight home. But if we look at the picture, again, the picture is important. Look how the man here has the boards. They're strapped down here. They're probably going to be strapped down here. They're very long. So what can he not do? He can't really turn. So the other meaning for this sentence, go straight home, is we hope he takes a direction home that doesn't have turns. He goes from the store to the home in a straight line. Okay? Because, as the picture shows, he cannot turn his car. Okay? So again, straight home, the co-location, not stopping anywhere else or doing anything else. Straight home, taking a direction that is straight without turns. All right. I hope those were funny. I have one last thing here that's just humorous about English. So English and a crazy language. Take a screenshot of this picture. Look at it, look at the words. This shows you some of the things in English that don't really go together. They don't make sense. So let's face it, English is a crazy language. There is no egg in eggplant, nor ham in hamburger, neither apple nor pine in pineapple. English muffins weren't invented in England. Quicksand can work slowly. Boxing rings are square, and a guinea pig is neither from Guinea nor is it a pig. And why is it that writers write, but fingers don't thing? Grocers don't grosh, and hammers don't ham. Doesn't it seem crazy that you can make amends, but not one amend? If teachers taught, why didn't preachers prot? If a vegetarian eats vegetables, what does a humanitarian eat? That's a scary one. And what other language do people recite at a play and play at a recital? We ship by truck, but send cargo by ship. We have noses that run and feet that smell. We park in a driveway and drive in a parkway. And how can a slim chance and a fat chance be the same, while a wise man and a wise guy are opposites? You have to marvel at the unique lunacy of a language in which your house can burn up as it burns down, in which you fill in a form by filling it out, and in which an alarm goes off by going on. And in closing, if father is pop, how come mother's not mop? I hope that was fun and interesting for you. Thank you, and have a great weekend. Bye-bye.